Are you ready for some spring DIYs? Probably not. We like to start early around here because you already know how Dollar Tree is and they have a bunch of spring florals out already. So today I'm going to show you 5 DIYs. I hope you enjoy and let's get started.
I'm gonna be myself, or I could be someone else. No one's stopping me now.
For the first one, I have 2 Easter baskets, and what I'm gonna do is I want to make sort of a 2-tiered basket out of this. I'm gonna connect the 2 before actually spray painting them because I bought spray paint for this. Okay, so I brought it over here, that way you can see the whole thing better, because where I craft, it's a little bit messy right now with all my craft stuff. So I love the look of the Easter basket because it gives you that look of sort of French country. Of course, they're colorful right now, but like I said, we're gonna spray paint them. I would rather do it with these types of baskets because once we spray paint them, like I said, it will look, they're gonna look pretty, rather than using the like plastic bins and containers from Dollar Tree. A lot of people make, you know, a lot of things with those, and I figured these were a good idea to use because they're gonna look nice. I'm gonna go ahead and cut the center of this top one. So I'm gonna use some zip ties, or in this case they're called cable ties. I got them from Ace Hardware. They were only like $1 and change, but they also have some at Dollar Tree. I just couldn't find any. This came with 100, so that's super cheap, and they're the smallest ones. I'm going to grab this one. I want to leave this on top. I was gonna take it off, but I figured I liked the way it looked. So just get it to where you think it's straight. You can use a little level as well, and then you can start connecting them with the zip ties. Okay, so I have 4 connected so far, and you just want to get them as straight as possible, and then we'll clip them off the excess once we're done. So I'm just going to keep adding more to get it tight. Alright, so I did about 7 on each side, and it is definitely pretty sturdy now. If I try to pull it, it won't really budge. Now I'm going to just cut off the excess. Now I'm going to go outside and give this whole thing one good coat of this . So for this one, I wanted to create a little basket. I'm seeing many of these at Hobby Lobby and Michael's, and I decided to go ahead and use the flat canvases. They come with 2 in here, and this one's the 5x7s. So I have 4. Now for this, I was also thinking of a different way to do it. Like I was gonna grab some gift boxes and connect them. I was gonna use these. You can connect 4 of them and make a little like basket or crate, and that way I can add like a vase inside with some pretty flowers and just different things like that. But I want to go with a specific color on the outside. I want to do kind of like a beige brown color, and it would take a lot of work to cover these gift boxes, so I thought I could just grab the canvases, and then paint goes on really well on the canvases obviously, so that's why I decided to use the canvases instead. You could also use the wood little drawers that come at Dollar Tree. So that's another option. I'm gonna be using the khaki paint. And this paint is from Michael's. I got it on clearance. I think it was like 10 bucks or 11 bucks, and I got it on clearance for $5.47. I just really like this color. I am going to use these Dollar Tree dots, and I'm just gonna go outside and spray paint them white, and then once they're done I'm gonna paint them brown. So it's basically just to give it a good base coat. I'm also gonna paint a couple of these Dollar Tree craft sticks brown too. So I bought bigger dots from the dollar store, a different dollar store, because I just cannot find them. So I really wanted to use the bigger dots. So I'm gonna go ahead and use 8 of these Dollar Tree craft sticks, and I'm gonna cut them first. This is gonna go onto my little crate or decorative box that I'm gonna make, and I'll show y'all how I'm gonna glue them on there. I'm gonna cut them first, basically just cutting off the round areas, and then I'm gonna actually paint these black. So I'm still gonna paint those dots brown once the white spray paint dries, and once I get the length that I want, and you'll see what I'm gonna use it for, I'll make all of them the same and then paint them black. So I'm gonna glue these together. It's just for a temporary hold because I'm gonna use they're the bamboo skewers that come in that 100 pack, and they're gonna go in the inside of it on the edges. That way I can hold it together better. Now I'm gonna add my black little corner pieces. This is another way it's going to hold together. It's already pretty sturdy with the skewers in the corners. Now I'm gonna add these. Now I'm gonna add my brown dots along the top and the bottom. Alright, look how pretty that looks. Now if I had the bigger dots, I'm thinking it would look so much prettier, but I haven't found them yet. I'm sure they'll come up once I'm done with my video. So the last thing I need to do to this, obviously I want to put stuff inside of it. I need to give it a bottom. So all I'm going to do is just cut some of these giant crab sticks and add them to the bottom, just so that way I can place things inside. Okay, so I have another Easter basket. I'm gonna go pick up more because I just love doing so many different types of DIYs with these because it's just very spring. Like you can paint it any color you want and it will look really nice for spring. So what I want to do is create more wall pockets with these. I forgot to mention I did pick these up from a different dollar store because my current or local Dollar Tree doesn't have the Easter baskets out yet. So once that happens, or if you have some spare ones, you can do that with them, or you can just go to a different dollar store and pick them up. I'm just gonna cut down this way and then like that and like this. So I will basically be cutting it in half. Okay, and then I'm gonna remove this part of the basket, the handle. Okay, so at Dollar Tree they have these burner covers for your stove, and they have two different sizes. This is the bigger one. You can use either or. I'm gonna go outside and paint this with the creamy spray paint I showed y'all earlier. I'm going to spray paint this part of I got one side of the Easter basket. I'm gonna do it with my white spray paint, so that way I can give it a good base coat, and then I can come back in here and paint it brown. I'm gonna go ahead and use my antique wax to go over it. Okay, I'm gonna add this in here. So I need to cut off or trim the edges. Okay, so I just cut along here. I'm gonna add more hot glue really well all around, and then I'll touch up the brown paint or the wax. The reason why it's kind of coming off while I'm touching it is because it's wax. If I would have did brown paint, it would have dried really fast. So you might want to use brown paint instead. This next one, I have this planter basket from Dollar Tree, and they will start putting these out soon. I've had these since last year, and what I want to do is just make a simple basket out of it with this nautical rope. Again, this is from Dollar Tree. I want to use this color. I mean, they also have twine there with different colors at Dollar Tree, so you can pick what you want. What I decided to do was use this since I had it already, and I just basically took it apart. So once you do that, you can cut, let me see, what did I do? I cut a piece off, and then I just start grabbing strands from it. As you can see, it has lots and lots of strands. So it doesn't really matter how much you grab, as long as you don't get a significant difference. So you just start wrapping it. And I just want it to look like those really pretty baskets you see on you know, anywhere that sells home decor. I'm going to do the same thing, just now going down from the top to the end of this, and I'm not gonna cover this because you're not gonna see it. I'm gonna have stuff inside of this. Alright, so I've gotten all that done. Now I think the last thing I'm gonna do to this, my kids are home, it's the weekend, I gotta finish this to post it Monday, so you might hear them. So I'm gonna take this Dollar Tree, well, it's nautical rope too, but it's the darker one, and I'm going to take off the tape that's at the end, and it comes in like 3 strands. So I'm gonna undo that, and I'm gonna make a braid out of it. I'm gonna create a braid, and that way I can put it on the outside of this. I like that two-tone look with the lighter cream nautical rope with the darker one, so I think that's gonna look pretty. So once I was done with the braid, I just cut it off and added hot glue to seal it. And now I'm gonna go on the sides and glue it on. Okay, so for this next one, I have a piece of foam board, and I have my, let me get my other ruler. This one has paint all over it. So I'm going to create a triangular, sort of a wall sconce with some chicken wire. So first I need to cut out a piece of this foam board. This will be sort of my base. Let's see, I'm gonna go ahead and use the edge of this because it'll just be easier. So this will be one side, and then I'll cut it to about, and I'm gonna use my blade from Dollar Tree. These, if you ever see these, pick them up because they're perfect to cut foam board and any other crafts. So it comes with other blades as well, and I haven't had to do anything. I've been having the same blade and I've used it for, I don't know, quite a bit. So first, the best way to do this, as I always mention when you cut foam board, is just to go through and cut it, not all the way. Oops. And then once you do that, well, let me go ahead and cut it right here. I'm not measuring it, I just want to make a straight line. Once you do that and you can see where the lines are, then you can push all the way through. Okay, so I have this chicken wire ribbon. It was super cheap from Hobby Lobby. You know, when they have sale on ribbon, it includes this as well. So it was really cheap, and I used it for, I think, 1 or 2 other DIYs. So what I'm gonna do is I'm not gonna cut it yet. I'm just gonna kind of unroll it, and I want to wrap it around this and create a little pocket for some flowers. So you see I kind of bent it underneath the cone. And now I need to lift it up right here so I can add whatever I want in there, which in my case it'll be flowers.
Drive a faster car, lay my troubles to rest, blow the smoke through my cigarette. City lights looking fine, and I know this is my time now. I'm gonna be myself, or I could be someone else. No one's stopping me now.
Now I'm gonna come up one and add more.
So try not to hold me down, feel alive when I'm in this town. Look at those beautiful stars, I wanna drive a faster car.
I had this old ticking fabric. I just cut out a piece to cover the back so it doesn't look all crazy. The last thing I wanted to do to this is add some Spanish moss, I'm sorry. And then you can add your choice of flowers.
Drive a faster car. I'm gonna be myself, I'm gonna be someone else. I'm gonna be myself, I'm gonna be someone else. I'm gonna skip my breaks, I'm gonna make mistakes. I'm gonna be myself, or I could be someone else. No one's stopping me now. Myself, I'm gonna be someone else. I'm gonna skip my breaks, I'm gonna make mistakes. I'm gonna skip my breaks.